So I mentioned that there are like only two things which you need to do to integrate your existing test suite with the BrowserStack. One is like adding the BrowserStack Maven dependency to your Maven. The second one is like adding this BrowserStack.yaml file. So even those two also no need for you to do it manually. Using this BrowserStack plugin, it will do that for you. Hello my dear friends, welcome back to QV Bro. As promised, I am back again with another video. So as you already know, today we are going to discuss about the BrowserStack and how we can do automation tests on the BrowserStack platform. So our last video we saw how you can conduct manual testing on different browsers, the cross-browser testing on different OS browser combinations as well. And today we are going to see how you can run automation test cases on your BrowserStack platform, and also to how you can conduct your compatibility testing automated on this platform. Okay, so after you create your account, so here on the left panel, last time we checked on this part, the live web and app manual testing live. So today we on the test automation, under that the automate. So you can come to this particular window. So at your first view, so this won't be your first view since I have already run one test run. So that's why I get this window. Otherwise, you will be on this integration guide. So you will see this particular window where you can get more information on how you can integrate your test suite, or else you can download their sample test framework and then you can run it and see how you can do the integration and how you can run it and how you see these results and everything. So it's very easy here. Based on your language and based on your framework, you can select. So almost all the most popular languages and the frameworks are available here currently. So I will go with TestNG. So once you click on the TestNG here, then you will get this step-by-step guide. So like all the prerequisites and how you can integrate it, all the information given here. So so the prerequisites, what TestNG version, Java version, Selenium, things which you need to install. Then here there's the option where you can download a zip folder from BrowserStack. They have already created a sample project for your help, so you can download it and you can see all the code is there. So this is very easy, like creating the BrowserStack or doing the integration with BrowserStack to run. It is very easy. So there are like a couple of only small steps. One is like you need to have this BrowserStack.yaml file. That YAML file will have all the configurations like your username, the access keys, and like what are the combinations which you need to run the test cases. Everything will be on this BrowserStack YAML file. So here is the example YAML file. So as you can see here, your username and your access key. So those information I will show you later where you can get those. So like here, when it generates, it gives your actual username and access key. So you can just copy paste this snippet to your actual file, or else you can get it from the dashboard as well. I will show that. After that, this is the platform part. So this platform part explains like on which combinations where I need to run my test cases. So here in this example, you can see OS, and like there are three platforms. One is OS Windows 10. We will be running on Chrome 120 version. The next one is Mac OS X Monterey. We are running on Safari 15.6. And also the third combination, we are running on iPhone 13, iOS version 15. The browser is Chromium and the orientation is portrait. So likewise, you can, so the first two are on desktop versions and the third one is a mobile version. So likewise, you can configure any number of OS browser versions under your platforms in the BrowserStack.yaml file. So in that case, when you run your test case, the same test case will be run on all these three platforms. So a compatibility test can be conducted very easily. So here also you can configure the parallel threads, and here you can select what are the combinations, and based on your selection here, the YAML file will be changed. For example, let's say here we have currently Windows 10. Instead of that, I will select Windows 8.1 IE 11. So here now you can see it got changed. Windows 8.1 IE browser version is 11.1. So likewise, based on your selection, it will change here. Or else, yeah, you can copy paste one of these components and then you can change the values as well. Likewise, you can configure to run this on multiple different platforms combinations as well. And also there are some other properties as well, like parallels per platform, like how many parallel runs, and then the BrowserStack local. So this is like whether, for example, if your application is not open to the public and only local. So if you can remember, like when we do the manual testing, there was option like where we can download a local application and then run these type of websites on this particular application when your application is not open to public. The same situation if you want to run the automation test cases, so here is the option. So when it is like set to true, then that means like if your application is not open to public. Otherwise you can keep this as false if your application can be accessed from public and on over the network as well. Then you can configure the build name and project name. These are like for the reporting purposes. I will show these things, how those will be visible later on the reporting part. Then, you need to add this BrowserStack YAML file to your project, and also for the Maven. So if I use in Maven or Gradle, based on that, you need to add the BrowserStack dependency as well. So basically, those are the two things actually you need to do to integrate your existing framework with BrowserStack. So very easy. And then you can run your test cases. And then you can see it on the dashboard. So after integration, so you can see here also now it shows that's like waiting for the sample builds to trigger. So other than that, yeah, let me go to the dashboard now. From here, by clicking on this three dots, you can close this integration guide and you will be redirected back to the dashboard. So yeah, here on this particular dashboard, here you will see the option called the access key. So this is the place where you can get your username and password if you couldn't get it from the previous place on the YAML file. By clicking here, yeah, you will be shown with your username and your access key. So you can copy paste these to your YAML file and the integration will be successful. And here also now, like currently based on my license, I can run 10 parallel threads. So if you can remember on the YAML file, we had only 3 configured to run on 3 different platforms. Likewise, I can configure, I can configure it for even 20, but since I have only 10 parallel threads to be run at once, so even though let's say in my YAML file, I will configure for 20 different platforms, but when the test is running, at once it will run 10 on parallel, then another 10 will be queued. So there is another 10 for the queue. And after the first 10 is done, it will take the next 10. So yeah, likewise, it will happen. So like after your test is run, so this will be like the builds. So I mentioned the build name and the test name. So here, those things will be visible based on your configurations. Okay. And also there is something I need to mention, like, so based on your IDE, Eclipse, so IntelliJ, you can go to, if IntelliJ, you can go to settings. Then here you can go to, you can search for plugins. Yeah. And then I will go to the marketplace. Here I will search for BrowserStack, and the BrowserStack plugin is there. So you can install it. So using this BrowserStack plugin, you can very easily integrate your existing project to support the BrowserStack platform. So I mentioned that there are like only 2 things which you need to do to integrate your existing test suite with the BrowserStack. One is like adding the BrowserStack Maven dependency to your Maven or the Gradle. Or the second one is like adding this BrowserStack.yaml file. So even those 2 also, no need for you to do it manually. Using this BrowserStack plugin, it will do that for you. So okay. So after installing these plugins, I think so then after that, you can go to your, let's say, currently this project is all actually integrated, but even if not, what you have to do is like, so in your draft project, you can go and right click here and you will see the new option, the new plugin called the BrowserStack on your the settings here. So you will see the option to integrate with Automate SDK and for App Automate SDK based on your project. So integrate with Automate SDK, you can go there. So here now you will get this particular window where you need to set the project folder. So it's correct. And you need to set what your framework is, Java or TestNG. So since my one is TestNG, I will put as TestNG. Then you can give the project name and the build name. So these are the ones. So here, project name and the build name. So the same thing. And then you need to put your username and the access key to these places. So you know how we are. From the access key, you can copy paste the username and access key, and then you just need to click the OK. So after that, it will automatically add this BrowserStack.yaml file and the dependency to your the pom.xml file. So here on the pom.xml, so this is the dependency which will be added actually after that particular action. So the BrowserStack SDK will be added, and the next part, as I mentioned, the BrowserStack YAML file. So if you configure the username access key, so here the actual values will be appear, and then the project name and the build name. So yeah, these two coming from, I will show you again. Okay, so here the BrowserStack username and the access key, that's for the top, and project name and build name here, project name and the build name. These two will appear here. So then after that, so this is the framework that also coming from my, based on my value I given on that particular window, and then the platform. So here this is where you can copy paste one of these components, and then you can change OS, browser, and the browser versions, those things. And then yeah, so here the BrowserStack local, as I mentioned, you can change it to true and false whether your app is available on public or not. And then you have some debugging options, like you can enable debug, then you can enable disable for network logs and the console logs as well, and test observability. This test observability is a separate feature on the BrowserStack platform. So it's for the reporting. I will show that as well later. So however, like, so here the only part where you need to change now based on your need to run on multiple device platforms. So here, as I mentioned, like these two are desktop versions and one is mobile. But since for my the free license, currently actually, even though I configured this the mobile device, it won't run on this platform, because if you can remember in last video as well, we couldn't run this on actual devices on the mobile. We checked only on the desktop version. So the same license issue will apply here. So in that case, even though I have configured this part here, this won't run on this device. The test will run on only these two. So yeah, so that's very easy, right? The integration was very simple. For that simple steps also, you have a plugin created from BrowserStack team. Kudos to BrowserStack team. Very easy. You just need to install the plugin and then fill some information and then run it. It will add this BrowserStack YAML file and the dependency to the pom.xml. Then you need to come to the BrowserStack YAML and change the configurations based on your need for the platforms. That's very simple. Then you can go to your test case and run it. So yeah, so let's say I will run this test from here. And so when you come back to the dashboard, so these are my previous runs. So this should be updated automatically with the two new runs. So as I mentioned, though I created 3 platforms, here it will be only 2 due to that license issue with the mobile devices. Okay, so this is good for the debugging purposes as well. So here now it failed because it says response code 401 invalid username or password. So that's because in my YAML file I have the username and the access key as this. So I need to have the actual values. Okay, so now this should be good. And now let's go and see our run. Okay, now you can see here a new build was started. So I will click on the build. And now you can see 2 tests started here running. It quickly finished actually. So 2 tests ran on, one on Windows 10 Edge, the next one was on Big Sur Chrome 130. So if you go back to the YAML file, if you can remember, the configurations were similar. So those 2 tests were ran and finished successfully. And then, yeah. So now you can see the status is passed, and if you click on one of these test cases, you can see more information like again the browser and the OS and the duration of the test, then the status, then the started time, then who ran this, the session ID, a link to share, and the observability I will share it later. And here there is a screencast of your test as well. So you can see the browser started and it went to the particular website and it checked, all the assertions and it quick. So here also some information is given, some device capabilities, input capabilities, and here also you can see step by step like what are the steps which actually performed. Then you can see the network logs is disabled on the YAML file. So in that case, the network logs are not available and the performance disabled. Yeah. Other than that, you can see some other information. The Selenium logs are available, the terminal. Those information you can retrieve from here if you have enabled network logs and the performance on your YAML file. So those will also be available. And then, so here, so we'll go to the the observability as well, and also at the same time, let's go to so here it will show as both passed, and if there are timeout or errors, so those will be filtered separately. And here the session to test cases and both passed, last updated time, the duration, user, again the same things, public link. Let's copy this public link, and here if you paste it, and even if you are not logged in, I think anyone can view this. So this is like your automation report where you can share this with your team. And and also this will send an email with your build information, the results as well. So kind of a daily build. If you have configured it CI/CD, then it is very easy. The CI/CD configurations also you can done very easily. Again, if you want to go to that integration guide here, you can check there all the CI/CD integrations and all the information are there very easily. You can do these things with referring to the BrowserStack documentation, and also in the BrowserStack GitHub they have sample projects as well. Okay, so again when you come to the test observability, so this is another separate feature on the BrowserStack platform. So this you can use to like for the debugging purposes as well. Here all the projects, build runs, the test health, and all the things are there. And for unique errors, if there are, let's say, multiple test cases failed but due to the same reason, so in that case actually it is kind of a waste of time if you have to spend more time on debugging each test case, and at the end of the day if you find out that all the 10 test cases fail due to the same reason, so in that case, so this test observability will do that part by themselves, and they present the results to you saying that all these 10 test cases had the same failure. So they will group it. So currently I don't have some data to show, and also some testing trends also you can see from here. So any, let's say, test likenesses and all the test stability related things, all those information you can easily view from these reports. So don't worry, I will do a separate video with more examples on this test observability part. So I just wanted to show this today, that I wanted to mention that test observability is also integrated with the BrowserStack automation. And also if you can remember last time we talked about some information about the Percy, where I mentioned that the UI visual testing. So those also you can integrate with this automation. So you can make sure that you will have all these features integrated and work well to achieve your goals, your organization goals. And also there is another option called this automate TurboScale. So using this TurboScale, you can run it on the BrowserStack grid, and to make sure that tests run faster to save some of your time. So when you run the test case on the local platform or the BrowserStack normal way, so it will take some time, but using this grid setup, here also it says like AWS, Azure, like the cloud provider. Based on that, you can run your test cases with some extra efficiency, and you can save some time. So when you run 1 or 2 test cases, you won't see much difference. But let's say if your test suite has like 1,000 or 2,000 test cases, right? and which is taking like 3-4 hours daily to run your automation. But in such a scenario, let's say like if you can reduce this to 30 minutes or 1 hour, so it will be great value to your organization as well. So that's where the TurboScale will come into play. You can reduce the speed with this TurboScale platform. Yeah, so you can run that part as well, and the Percy as I mentioned. So Percy I will explain on a separate video under the BrowserStack playlist. For today, I just wanted to show you like how you can do this compatibility testing automation part on the BrowserStack platform. So yeah, it was a quick video, but yeah, actually it became very quick because the integration was super easy as you saw. Just one file and one dependency for the POM, and then that's it. And that also you could easily add through the IDE plugin, and it was super easy. And just after doing those changes, and when I run, you could see I could observe my test results on the dashboard as well. So it was very super easy to any team who has all let's say your test suite has grown large, but even if now integrating with the BrowserStack is easy as you saw. No changes need to be done on your framework. Only couple of files, yeah, as I mentioned, need to be added the YAML file, and you need to configure all the platform combinations where you need to run your test cases. So that is easy. That's the only part you need to do in your framework by means of integrating with BrowserStack. And other than that, you can use the other BrowserStack features as well with the automation, and to make your life easier and to make your tests stable and run quickly, and it won't miss any issues by using the features as well, like the Percy. So yeah, I think we can end our quick video from here for today. So with that, we complete the BrowserStack manual and automation testing part as well for the compatibility. So yeah, let's see about the next week. So if I can get another license or another such tool where we can perform compatibility testing, so I will try to find some license, and then if I was capable of getting that, I will do another video for another tool, or else we can move to another playlist. Thanks for watching my videos, and yeah, share this with your friends, and I hope it will be useful for them as well. And again, see you next week, and happy testing till then.